redacted, and there's a lot of them that they just haven't released them because nobody ain't told them to do it yet.
I don't think those records would ever be released, though.
They will. They have to. They have to.
You have faith in that?
They have to release them. They got, because all of this, everything that was part of this war effort. When we talk about, we've been at war for 500 years, and the war has evolved, but the people don't know they still in a state of war. So they going about their day-to-day business in the police state thinking this is normal. But that's because nobody don't know that before the 1800s, there wasn't no prisons over here. The first prison was built in Pennsylvania in like 1870 something.
They were like camps, right? Rod Hayes, like little.
No, the first prison, it was built by Quakers. And they originally created for the Quaker community, and then the government took it and ran with it. What they called in slavery was we was being confined to the family farm and nobody was allowed to leave. Then they took Big Mama name off the house and called it the Big House. Like we not gonna know that we needed to picket porches, wrap around picket porches for the babies. That's why they call us porch monkeys. All the babies we didn't have no cribs, no playpens, I mean. When they take them out the crib and they want to crawl around, they gonna crawl around on the floor in the house. Or in the summertime, when everybody outside, they bring the babies outside and put them under the shade of the wraparound porch. Now they can crawl around all they want on the porch. They ain't going out in the yard. But we, by us being so far removed from what we used to do, we can't even see how what we used to do was weaponized against us and used as tools of oppression. Everything that we did was either monetized, villainized, or flat out made illegal.
I think he wants to release the files because I know, like, it's bad too because people not even talking about his assassination attempt anymore. And I think that I think him trying to release these files will also show, like, obviously some governments who play here with MLK, RFK, and JFK, but then maybe we can get the understanding that it was some governments who play and trying to take him out too. So I just think
history right now. It was the corporate government was fighting the republic government. That's what the deep state versus the people of the republic was about. They're going backwards. We came in, we started off tribal common law jurisdiction. Then we ended up under the 1776 order of the republic that overthrew the Continental Congress, and it overthrew the Iroquois Confederacy and the Cherokee Confederacies. So all of those was merged into the United States Corporation like we agreed to it, but they knew we didn't because they wrote about it. They waged war on us. They even got where the government was putting bounties on us, but we think they're talking about somebody other than us.
I just wanted to ask Sharice something. Sharice, was you trying to say that you think that he was doing those assassination attempt situations so he can be something like MLK and?
Oh no, I don't think that he had anything to do with it.
No, not have anything. I'm saying, but you think he's trying to do in like some comparison or something like that?
Sure. I mean, because I think what happens is a lot of times is that we don't realize how much the government be at play with a lot of corrupt bullshit. Even before we was all born, some of us, was born. Mm-hmm. So that's.
Did y'all see the Hadassah complaint where she came out to say there's someone that's already exposing the assassination attempts and saying one of the major government officials were working with the CIA in Pennsylvania to try to do that assassination. Hadassah, she's been out making videos. Have you seen that, Rod Hayes?
You're supposed to be I think it's the governor of Pennsylvania.
The governor of Pennsylvania. Yep. So do you believe her, or do you think she's just doing it for clout, or do you think that's accurate?
I think she is the person that was given the task to leak the information.
Mm.
Everybody gonna call her crazy until they wait till this dude Cash Patel get done ripping apart the FBI. Because they didn't already close the CIA. You got to remember, COINTELPRO was a collaboration between Central Intelligence Agency and Federal Bureau of Investigations under the direction of J. Edgar Hoover.
So y'all actually think that it was not a setup? A lot of things be setups. I don't
I mean,
know.
I don't think it was a setup on his by him. I don't think that, but you know, who knows? Who knows with all of this stuff that goes on? But I just don't believe that.
It's in the script. His assassination was in the script before he ever took office.
Mm.
They had already
And
put
it's
it.
Josh Shapiro. That's his
You
name.
think that he was planning his own assassination attempt?
No.
Okay.
Okay, so when I say it's in the script, this is what I mean. They gave it to us as a prophecy.
Reality show. The whole presidential thing seems like a whole reality show anymore.
It's 100% a reality show.
Huh?
It's 100% a reality show.
Yes. It just seems like it's so animated. Like,
It's totally animated and it's totally scripted.
yes.
But we keep believing that shit real, and that's where the problem coming in at.
Right.
We keep looking at them people in DC as if they some kind of way different from the people that make movies and music in Hollywood.
Right.
It's the same but different.
Hence,
They all
the
playing the
Truman
same
Show.
thing.
The Truman Show is what it really is for real. That's some real stuff. If y'all haven't watched the Truman Show, watch it. With Jim
I am
Carrey.
Nisha. Now that you
It's not weird with the airplane crashes, but that has nothing to do with politics in DC.
don't really think so?
Not directly. It's indirectly related, but it's not directly. It's part of the same conflict. And these people will F somebody up in order to push their agenda. They blew up John Africa because he wouldn't go along with the agenda. Let that sink in. They blew this man and his whole family up, Philadelphia move, because he didn't want to go along with their agenda. He wanted to be free, and he wanted to live as a free man in this society. And they told him, "No, we can't have none of that freedom shit going on." And then they started trying to murder them all. That's an act of war. That's not no policing. That's war.
Yes.
He ain't the only one. Look, Joseph Sinque was trained by the CIA to get a group of black boys to start a black army to fight against Charles Manson's family and start the race war to set off Helter Skelter. Joseph Sinque, aka Calvin DeFries, and Charles Manson both did exactly the opposite of what they was told to. They locked Manson ass up for the rest of his life, but they blew Calvin DeFries up. Sinque, they blew his ass up. Literally, like on the 6 o'clock news, building going up and big old mushroom cloud of fire and smoke blowed his ass up. They ran up in there on them Panthers and shot the shit out of them in New Jersey, in California, in New York, in Chicago, then murdering them.
But
That's
listen,
not policing, that's war.
right, but listen, just like Asiatic 777 said, first it was the drones. They was going all crazy all over.
That was to desensitize you from the orbs.
But right after that, then the plane crashes. Like,
look,
and all this happened when Trump came in office. That's the reason why I'm saying something's a little weird with that.
Okay, so they got two factions at war. They got two factions. One faction don't want to surrender the power back to us. Right? And then you got the part that the faction Trump working for that don't give a F what the other faction want. And they already know that when they on their way out and they know they lost and there's nothing else they can do, only thing left is chaos. They're going to keep trying to cause chaos. I keep telling these people, y'all think I'm playing, get your babies out of these people's schools because they next. But everybody just think I'm just talking. They think I'll be just talking. They keep telling us. They just dropped a movie about the school shooting crisis to bring it to the forefront of everybody's mind that your child not safe in school that's about to come out.
And I'm glad you said that, Brother Raw Hayes, because even Trump is even putting in incentives so people can homeschool their kids. And maybe there's a reason for that too, so that we can pull them out and do what we need to do on our end, because obviously, we are really in some real unforeseen danger. So, I mean, like, I appreciate him putting in incentives so that we can homeschool our kids and attempt to do it, because we do need more of that versus the indoctrination.
And the flames is just a continuation of the chaos on the way out.
Yeah.
The deep state, as they call the side that's losing, they call them the deep state. They the ones responsible for sending all of the American wealth around the world, but don't spend none over here. How you got the wealthiest country and you ain't nothing but a third world country with a Gucci belt?
Trump done cut off everybody. A lot of people we've been cutting them off.
Gucci belt.
Crazy.
Yeah, but y'all speaking like Trump has. Hello?
Hey, welcome. Say hi first.
Hello.
Okay,
How you doing?
My name is Chosen Kemet. I go by Not Yet We Are. And I'm listening to you guys talk about Trump do this with these executive orders and everything, and nobody's talking about the fact that he's in the pocket of Israel and the Ashkenazi Jew. You know what I'm saying? He's not really doing, it's all smoke and mirrors. And the attempt on the assassination tips and everything else was smoke and mirrors, so white people would look at him like a hero.
I'm not. So you could I'm not. Why you think that? You making that statement? Like,
well, that's a good point, because Trump does support Israel big time. That is a point to be made.
The Jews in Rome are the ones who are still in control of everything. Excuse me, sis, my bad.
Mm-hmm. No, that's okay. I just wanted to say that is a valid point. Rob, what do you have to say to that?
He would have been 100% right about 4 years ago. But as far as Trump is a verbal supporter of Israel. He said out his own mouth. So anybody tell you that Trump didn't say he was a supporter of Israel, they'd be making it up, because he said it out his own mouth in front of the people. I don't know which Trump it was, whether it was the skinny Trump, the fat Trump, the dumpy looking Trump. It's like 4 or 5 of them. I can't keep track. They keep switching them out so much. But the reality is if they tell them people in Gaza to leave, if Trump behind telling them to leave, just remember me telling you this. When everything is said and done, the dragon whips his tail.
So, Kemet. So you're not really fond of Trump. What are you saying?
I'm saying that Trump is just like the last president the United States had was Kennedy, and he was killed by the Mossad and the CIA and the Dallas police. Mm-hmm. See, I live in Texas, so I've been to the museum and everything where it happened and everything at.
It was so many people in on that assassination that wanted him dead.
Right, the mob too.
The mob wanted him gone. Castro wanted him gone.
Yep.
Yeah, Russia
and
wanted
my
him gone.
history teacher was actually Harry Oswald's best friend. And so he was teaching us back then how it was all conspiracy. You know, Harry Oswald is like a librarian, and how they set him up and said he was on top of a roof somewhere because he was a librarian and was able to do it. And now they're saying it was in the car. It would have to have been in the car easy, but I've always
they got another alternate view from similar to the Zapruder tape that's showing the driver shooting Kennedy in the head.
Right. But I definitely see that as far as Kennedy, I guess I would say that he was more so trying to be like for the people's agenda and not actually do what the powers that be essentially want you to do. And the president has to do that. Like when you say that someone is for Israel, what American politician is not for Israel? Isn't Israel American?
John
I mean,
Kennedy
did they? Yeah. So like what would it be without that, like going against the government as a whole? Or
They said the video out.
Oh yeah, of the different view. I think they're talking about.
Oh, my bad. Look at me.
Showing
I'm not gonna be in red comment. My bad.
killed in the car. But what would it look like for like someone to go against Israel? How would we even get the government to go against Israel, or would that have to be like turning down the American system altogether?
But those things, why is Israel that America has to take up for Israel? I always
Because they put them there. They put them there.
They put them there
Because the Rothschild
they
family
started it in 1947, right? Or
48.
48.
48. Yeah, so it's American. Israel is American.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
That's right.
I'm trying to figure. I thought it was the whole Bible thing because I'm trying to figure out why.
No.
No.
Rothschild family went over there and
Not
said
at all.
that land's gonna be called Israel, and or it's gonna be called. They bought the land, the Rothschild family, and what they did was being puppets because they're not even really in control like people think they are. However, they are one of the richest families, though, over $500 trillion, because that Federal Reserve Bank belongs to them and I think Rockefeller.
Used to.
Why you say used to, brother?
It's been liquidated.
What does that mean?
It's gone. The Federal Reserve is done.
So what you're saying is, Dulcie, you said they're Americans, so they're not really. So are they fake or fake Jews over there? So
she's talking about the establishment of Israel. 1945, the United States got with Britain and France to form the first, convene the first United Nations meeting, where they established the United Nations, drew up the charter. America was not allowed to be, because of the Constitution, an official member.
Right.
So they became a permanent seat as a guest on what they call the Security Council. So once they got that, they started going and recruiting other nations, and they had 10 destinations, 10 areas around the world that they picked to set up and establish the state of Israel. Right. This was the continuation of World War I's Balfour Declaration, where they agreed to finance the war if they would establish the state of Israel. And so they carried it out. In 1948, they went in. Back then, the West Bank was half Egypt and half Syria, I think. And they bombed the shit out of them. And then they moved all of the refugees from Germany and Poland and all that to set up the state of Israel over there. That was actually the lines of demarcation for modern Israel was carved out by a Negro. I think his name was Ralph Bunch, if I'm not mistaken. But he was the one that went over there, and it was because of his report that they settled on putting it in the Middle East. But it was 10 different locations, and they all listed online. You can look them up. That was potential sites for the state of Israel.
What dots this show was there were Palestines over there.
Well, okay, the land
first thing it said Palestine dots.
Yes, that it was called Palestine. That's correct. So after the war, right? As a way, well, how history kind of purports it is that after the war, it's this thing of, oh my God, we feel so bad. Germany, how dare you? Look what you did during the Holocaust to these Jews. And Jews, the Ashkenazi, those that identify Israel, not those that you would say look like us, but like Ashkenazi Jews, and even some Sephardic, needed a place to go. And so, ultimately, he's trying to break down how it happened, how the land was chosen. But ultimately, from 1946, where you see the territory listed as Palestine, to where we are today in 2025, Palestine is pretty much wiped off the map. And he's giving the reasons why that is.
And I think that's causing a lot of wars over there, too, between those.
Well, it's occupied land. Any territory that's occupied by a foreign force and the original people is still resisting the foreign force, that war not over until the original people are either totally annihilated or they surrender or they leave. That's the only way you can take somebody else's territory. So what Israel been doing is creating conflict. We got to remember the CIA and the Mossad, the KGB before the fall of the wall, MI6, MI5, all of them work together to fund, finance, train these people that they keep telling us the terrorists. They the instigators of the warfare, the conflicts, and the all of the money. Most of the money that comes from for funding them come from over here. That go for Al Qaeda. That go for ISIS. ISIS was created and funded under the Obama administration. Then you got Hamas was created and funded by the Mossad to try to replace the PLO. All of those so-called terrorist organizations, and we forget that when Russia was fighting the war against Afghanistan, America was financing the Mujahideen, and then they turned around and that's who we was going to war with. America was going to war with the Mujahideen when they was bombing Afghanistan. Now they taking all this money over to Afghanistan with no cause.
Nothing.
Who they owe that money to? Why they giving them all of these billions of dollars? Because it's more than millions. They was taking over like what's it say, $50-60 million a week to Afghanistan. Who you giving it to? They was giving it to the farmers that they was paying to produce opium poppy so that they can flood the American community with heroin. And then they found out how to refine heroin and turn it into some other stuff that they call fentanyl.
And weren't all those Mujahideen, especially in Afghanistan, they were, I know Osama bin Laden, when they trained in School of America, and when they given the medals of honor.
The CIA set up a military training resistance in Iraq, because Iraq was America's ally at the time. And the United States military was training the resistance of the Mujahideen to fight against the Russian forces that was coming into invading from the north. Right? See, they were struggling and fighting for a pipeline or oil pipeline from Uzbekistan to the Red Sea. And that's how Kuwait got caught slant drilling into Iraq. That caused the Iraqis to bomb Kuwait in the first Gulf War in 91. Right? And because Hussein had put a hit out on the old man Bush, his son got to be president. He wanted some get back. He hooked up with Dick Cheney, executive of Halliburton, because he was going to get all of the rebuilding contracts to make him hundreds of billions of dollars in the reconstruction of the infrastructure of Afghanistan and Iraq post-war. All of them was in on it. That 9/11 shit was an inside job 100%.
That's right. Yep.
Yes, Rob, what do you think about all these different people like George Soros? And what was the person that that had something to do with the vaccinations? I cannot think of his name.
Fauci.
Fauci. Now and what's going on with him and Bill? No, what's his name, y'all? Y'all know him tomorrow. All of a sudden, people online now saying they enemies. The rich guy.
Bill Gates.
Come on. What's his name?
You talking about Gates?
The one? No, not Bill Gates. The other one. The one that got the little boy that's supposed to be saying all the stuff in the office. Oh, I can't call his name.
Elon Musk.
Elon Musk. So what do y'all think about the different people that's now in office that got a lot of control? They said Elon Musk is just as powerful as he is. That's what they're saying online.
Listen, Elon Musk got a bone. Elon Musk is doing everything he can to rebel against his father. See, if y'all know how the pale face operate, because I grew up with them, and the sons, for some reason, always got to try to conquer their father. That's like a way they wired, especially when they rich. I grew up around poor ones and rich ones and middle class ones. The rich ones, they trying to conquer their father. Elon Musk take on that personality trait. He don't agree with his father's participating in the apartheid regime in South Africa owning the emerald mines. That's where their money come from. He took his cut of the family fortune, left, and got into tech and finance. That's why he ended up with PayPal and all that stuff. And so his father want him to be instrumental in the New Boer movement to reclaim South Africa from the South Africans. He didn't want no part of it. That's why he in America. And so when he come over here, the billionaires hang out together. He meet Trump and they hit it off. Elon Musk, he's restricted. It's only so much stuff he can do. But whether it's Elon Musk, whether it's Donald Trump, whether it's Bill Clinton, no matter who you see in Washington, they're a puppet.
Right.
And don't none of them call no shots. They just taking the credit for everything.
Yeah, well, I mean, you don't think that Elon Musk put a lot of money up to help Trump win the presidency?
I bet he did. Mm-hmm. He didn't need to, though, because he was going to win regardless.
Right.
Right.
But he probably did give him a whole ton of money. But that ain't why he got his position. He got his position for his skill set, what he know how to do.
Right.
He know how to run down them lost dollars.
So do you think it was right for him to put Fauci in? Fauci.
Who?
Fauci and
because he ain't giving no. He ain't just giving no. This after this election, he ain't put Fauci nowhere.
Yeah, he just pardoned Fauci, so now all the things that were going to go against him.
No, that was Biden that's supposed to pardon.
Yeah, pardoned him before he left, but he's not in no position.
Oh, right, he's not. I thought Fauci had a position. Kennedy.
He gonna have a position.
Kennedy that has the position on health.
Who?
Yeah.
Who
Kennedy.
is it?
Yeah, Kennedy.
Kennedy. That's
but
what
look, Fauci gonna have a position, but it ain't gonna be what you think.
Well, I mean, what the heck do Kennedy know about all that he got the position for? But I'm saying his family talked about him so bad during the election. I mean, his family say he's a complete opposite of his father. His family came on talk. I don't know if everybody's seen it, but his family talked. They talked some talk about him.
Well, people are going against him because he's against Big Pharma. Like, he's taking on the major number one enemy of the state. So, I mean, like, I'm for him.
Hey, let's track that
about Big Pharma.
Not just Big Pharma, the food too.
But let's
track. He's talking about how health. It's not supposed to be maintained by the amount of pills, by the amount of shots that they put in people. It's about how you eat, how you live, be healthy. That's what Kennedy is for. That's why he was put in that position and going against Big Pharma. And that's why all the people that are falling under Big Pharma is going against them, calling them crazy, saying, oh, he don't know what he's talking about, all this other stuff. When he said, oh, Black people have strong immune systems. They're not supposed to.
Yeah, it also works being from Maryland. It was like, girl, what are you doing?
Wait, say that again. Say that one more time.
No, I said Angela also Brooks is from Maryland, so it was just kind of like, girl, what are you doing? Like, what?
Oh yeah,
wait, say that one more time.
Kennedy said Black people's immune system are strong, and they're not supposed to be taking all these vaccines and all these shots and everything. And Black people were in an outroar about it. Like, how dare he? How dare he say that? He doesn't want us to be healthy.
Right. Our systems is. We are not created equal. Our systems is different. We shouldn't be taking the same thing that y'all taking. We different.
Right. I'm with you on that, Nene. Go ahead, say it, girl.
I mean, these people, for real, people that look like me, some of y'all need to get it together.
Okay.
Mentally.
But it's the propaganda. We fall for the propaganda so fast. It's just like all you have to say is, oh, they're against us. He's trying to have us die quicker and everything. And everyone's like, oh, Kennedy is horrible. And they're not even listening to what he's saying because he's trying to bring in natural healing.
I remember that. That was crazy. Did y'all see that video of Okay, hold on. I want to show y'all a quick video. Tell me
Okay.
what y'all think of this. Because, you hear oftentimes about Trump being racist and X, Y, and Z, all right? So wait,
Well, there's,
1 second.
don't start. I've been nice to Trump now. Don't get me started. I've been nice to Trump.
No. This is with Angela.
So, so, so what I'm hearing is everybody's feeling like Trump is starting off good. That's what it sounds like to me.
Well, no, you know what I would say? I think that, and I always say this, I think that he's doing what he said he was going to do. And, and I've said this before. I think that, they're all, in my opinion, they're all demons, right? I just
Yep.
think that people are used to the demon that you don't know or the devil you don't know. We're used to people coming in front of us, smiling, shucking and jiving and saying what we want to hear. And then behind the scenes, going about it as usual. Whereas you have somebody saying, "Oh, this is what I'm going to do," and he's actually doing it. I mean, I don't. For me, I'd rather operate with the devil I know than the devil I don't know. But that's just me.
Well, I still, I don't know what to believe anymore and what not to. And I'm trying to figure out which is correct and which isn't. You know what I'm saying? I don't know the fake news from the real news anymore. I just gotta just wait and see what happens.
But I'm not going to operate in fear. But I think also I'm not going to operate in fear, and I'm not going to act like, "Oh my God, the world is falling. Oh my God, the next 4 years are so dangerous. Oh my God." Listen, we have gone through how many centuries of hardship, of
Yeah,
war upon us, I mean, this has been our life. If nothing else, we are survivors. So I don't fear anything. I don't think the next 4 years are going to be any worse than they have been, in my opinion, than
hmm
what than what our people have gone through for centuries. I mean, we
right.
bred for this. Life goes on.
Absolutely.
I can say I like the stuff that he's doing. I don't see any bad that he's done, and I can't say that there's something that I'm opposed to right now that he's doing so far. But this is just the beginning, I guess, as time will tell. But so far, so good.
Mm. Well, like I said, I have to admit that I agree with some of the things that he's trying to do. But I also was wondering why if he's seeing that the prices are going up on foods and things like that, what is he doing to try to bring it down? Is it because we usually do trade with different countries? You know
No,
what I mean? And now he's stopping the trading. So now it's making it's not enough coming in, so it's making things go up higher. I've been trying to figure out how why this
you
is going
you
on.
got to know how inflation works. Inflation is predicated upon the number of dollar notes in circulation in relation to the amount of money that is being spent. When they
Mm,
call themselves adjusting the interest rates, they changing the value of the dollar at its source. That's why back in the 50s or 60s, a candy bar was a nickel. They $2 now. Uh, Everything over a nickel is inflation. And inflation is a side effect of fractional reserve banking. It's the hole at the bottom that keep leaking, and they instead of patching it, they try to make it worth more on the top.